Yes, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on Rich's Revolution. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button for the channel. Something to point out as well, guys, that 75.3% of people are not subscribed and 24.7% people are subscribed. So 75.3% people do watch my content but aren't subscribed. Please subscribe. It does massively help out the channel more than you can imagine, and appreciate anybody that does, and especially come along for this journey because we are having such a great time with the grind and I'm really thoroughly enjoying myself. And also thanks a lot for helping us hit 4,000 subscribers, also supporting some of the content, because I have put a lot of effort into these, and especially from a free-to-play standpoint, doing what I'm doing, and this is what I want to give this experience as we go and delve into each individual hero. And as I said, one of the key things is to go and grind out these heroes, learn as much as possible from other people, as well as Alliance, as well as myself, and putting together the best possible outcomes for my heroes. That's why we're here to do this video. I can't take any credit for the creation of what we're going to talk about, which is what is the best skill selection for Doctor Strange. Do bear in mind this is based on my opinion as well as Henkz, who has all of the credit coming his way. Henkz did an amazing job with putting together a full and dissected bit of information, and that's the great thing about being in Marauders and as well our other alliance, which is Marauders X. So yeah, like if you are part of them, like you will learn a lot in the alliance. We've got our own Discord and it's just amazing. I'm honestly having such a great time. Every so welcoming, so supportive, and that's the great thing about this community. It's just really supportive. As hang on, do I need that? As that most wanted has just like popped up just as there. I do. Actually, I think our alliance leader is doing his own grind as well. Hey, that's a good stroke of good luck. See, Marauders coming in with the good luck all the time. But yeah, this is what this video is about. It's all about skill build for this. Now, one thing that I was trying to do is understand why Henkz did what he did in order to put together what is the best skill. Now, this is my skill selection right here. It's on screen right now. So we've got bottom left through to bottom right for Doctor Strange. But this also applies, like it doesn't really matter what hero it is, but the logic that comes by from Henkz when he was creating his skill build for Doctor Strange comes in the highest possible, smarts and genius level understanding. Essentially, the big thing about this is understanding time. Okay, damage per minute. What happens in a minute? Well, there's 60 seconds. What happens in this game? Well, there's cooldowns. There's cooldowns. There's required stamina. So there's two things to consider: stamina, cooldown of time. So the way that this build is done is definitely with that in mind. So right here, I mean, here's a perfect example, okay? So some cases people might go, okay, well, why is this chosen? Why is this chosen? Let's go through them all and kind of like start from the very beginning. So we've got here, this one is the Master of the Mystic Arts. And as you know, there's different selections of things, like either it's Barrier Curse or it's Soul Enhance or others. Now, before I had this one, Soul Enhance, but I don't really need it because what it does, it helps our allies. It helps our allies and enhances and increases the allies' defense pierce rate. That's handy for everyone else, but that's not handy for me. When a lot of this game is like, well, you're not paired up in order to have like a healer, a tank, and other stuff. Like, it's all about you doing the most damage possible, and especially from a PvP standpoint, you want to have guard break as being something there, and that's why it does damage, where that doesn't. So that's the reason that Barrier Curse is chosen. Also, Henkz is incredibly smart as well because he understands the fact that they require the same stamina, but their cooldown time is less for the damaging input. So that's, again, like that's the first start of genius that comes from the creation of this. But as well, the process of usage is very important because this here. Now, we are jumping about a bit. I will jump around a bit before I kind of go like, okay, well, that's that. And it may be recommended to have a sequence of who and what kind of like attacks you fire in each time. It may be a case of like the rate of cooldowns could then chart the way that you're throwing. So that could be a thing as well. But as well, this one is very important. Now, before I had this one on here, which is the Ashanti Assault, right? But there's also magical absorption. And this is why this is interesting. Okay, so firstly, yes, it's got a lower guard break. Okay, take it or leave it. But this, right here, every 14 seconds, and you get to recover 8.9% for each target hit your stamina. So if you're doing AoE and as well fighting off against a boss, you can retain a good amount of stamina back, which means that you are able to then throw another attack. If you're not familiar with stamina and how it works, is there's an orange bar that's right there, and yeah, like as you attack things, it kind of like things are able to be thrown. So there you go, just as simple as that. You have to kind of go how much stamina I have to what I'm going to be throwing. So that's another stroke of genius right there, to understand that premise of going, okay, well, I've got a cooldown, number one, but number two, when I'm firing off all these attacks, then what happens if I'm waiting around and just throwing basic attacks? Because as you know, basic attacks are free, they don't cost any stamina, and you can just throw that. So that's something, again, that's as a stroke of genius, just to kind of go, okay, we've got this here that's able to recover stamina, and especially every 14 seconds you're able to recover stamina. So it's like you are replenishing yourself as quickly as you're using. Now let's move on. And this one here. You've got the Eldritch Sword. Now, debatable on this one. The other ones, and I did have this one before, is a right at the very end, Ashanti Sacred Sword, which is a 12.5 second cooldown. Its guard break is low, 610 right at the end versus the 920 that you get from that. So this is one of these things of going like, again, down to rates. You just got to wait a little while and you're able to put in a very meaty attack. And again, with that stamina refresh that we're talking about from the other attack, it means that that required stamina isn't something you overly consider. Again, a stroke of genius there for the damage output versus the stamina bring back. And again, looking at some of the other attacks, could say that it's debatable whether or not to put this one in, which is the bladed defense. But again, it just depends on like your preference with it. Could be an option. Yeah, if I was looking to maybe switch it out, maybe I'll go with blades. But as well, if you're doing certain things like Dark Zone, where there's a bit of an unwritten rule that you don't attack any other player, and you just kind of, well, there's sort of an unwritten rule. It can be beneficial, and I think that's kind of like where this is kind of built from, that kind of idea of that. But if you're looking for something here with change, maybe this is the only kind of slight criticism here. Maybe I'll change that. Maybe I'll try it, like, and see what my damage output is like. I'll probably throw some footage up of my kind of improvement. And as well, I'll tell you how much damage I'm doing more as a result of using this new skill build in a minute. So moving on, and there's two final ones here. First of all, and that is Gateway Summoning. And this has, and this is a pretty large one, right? This is 27.2% 2 second cooldown with a required stamina 49. Very stonky on that one. This one here right at the very end is 16.9 seconds with a stamina refresh of 33, which isn't too much of a difference, I've got to be honest. Like, you're kind of going like, well, you kind of expect for the cooldown time and the stamina, it's kind of like, but at least say your rate of damage is exceptional when you're throwing it. So that's something else to consider as well. Yeah, there could be some others as a possibility. I just kind of feel that 1,693 damage, and again, we're talking about Henx's deep dive about the understanding of cooldown and timing. It's kind of an important one to kind of throw down damage. Now our last one is the 7 Rings of Ragador. And this one is 1,383 damage. Now based on the fact this is a very good PvE build. Again, as I said, like, debatable whether or not it's like PvP build, and maybe you would look for the highest guard break stuff when doing that and switching out. It's definitely something I may consider down the line, especially for Doctor Strange. But it's just that focusing 1,383 that's quite meaty compared with the other one, which is there, like, okay, 20.2 seconds, and it's, again, there's not much difference here with the amount, but the damage is right there. As I said, like, this is one of these builds where it would be debatable as to the reasoning to use some of the stuff in PvP. Not to disparage it, because I have done very well. I've done better now in PvP as a result of using this, but there's not an extensive guard break like priority on, it's not as high, but still it works. I always say, if it's people say it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. So yeah, that's really been the kind of the go over there. Just to let you know, I have now been doing about 100. No, it's an extra. About extra 150% more damage. So say if I'm doing 1 million, I'm now doing 1.5 million more. So 2.5 million. If people was expecting to like extensive numbers, do bear in mind I've still got a lot of work still to do on my character, on my hero, to get it up. I've just recently added some new things to it, to my Doctor Strange, where I've now got super villain damage increased. Now I have 4 pieces of Maestro. I do have another piece that is about. I'm just debating my stats changes, which would be quite substantial to my attack. So I'm trying to find something in order to pad the difference in the attack and going, okay, well, look, I'm going to lose in the region of 300, about 500 extra attack from it. And I'm like, oh God, I'm losing so much attack elsewhere. So I'm being very cautious about like putting that in. That will be something I'll look at down the line of doing. But yeah, there's also work with my mega cards, which I'm going to work on over the weekend. Hopefully get them up, because they're there. It's just the problem is I'm not getting any good drops. I'm working in dark zone as much as possible, where it's a good place to farm mega cards, but it's just trying to pick up some of the rarer ones, which is becoming a little bit problematic for me at the moment. I think I've just picked up something actually. I need to have a look at these Ares sets here and whether or not I'm kind of interested in doing anything with Sakar stuff. Apart from that, it's just a case of like I'm just trying to find some decent set base kind of drops. I've got some, but again, it's like it's a bit of a hodgepodge, and I'd have to like spend a long time just going, look, am I making the right decision by going this route? Because if I do, I've kind of over-invested into something maybe I shouldn't. But I'm prepped with some commons to then ramp up some 5s, and hopefully at some stage very, very soon get a 6th. But I'm now back to working on 100%ing the various different types of zones. In any case, but anyway, I digress. This has been a really, really fun vid to make. And as well, shout out to Henkz of the Marauders Alliance. Having a blast, as I said, and look forward to more content very, very soon. Make sure as well to check out some other content from the game that I've posted recently on screen right now. And I will see you in the next video. Appreciate you all and see you all soon. Bye-bye.